Hi guys, hey, it's me, Duff, Rowden. Hey, I wanted to tell you something I've been thinking about for a long time. Back in May of 2021, I went down to Tucson, Arizona, to celebrate with one of my friends that many of you have been praying for, Snow Peabody, Director of Teen Challenge there in Arizona. But while I was there, I went out to a place in Tucson, which was my hometown. That's where I grew up. And I went out to a place called the Saguaro National Monument, the one that's east of town, up in the foothills of the Rincon Mountains. And I saw some things there that I wanted to tell you about. But the amazing thing was this. You'll see some videos going by here that I shot and some pictures. But in May of this past year, Tucson has been going through a horrible, horrible drought, and the surrounding areas for a few years. In fact, there were parts when I would drive around southern Arizona, I barely recognized them because so much of the foliage had died off or was dormant from lack of water. Creeks all dried up, just horrible, horrible drought. And yet when I went out to the Saguaro National Monument, I noticed something really unusual about the big Saguaro cactus. Those are the big ones like you're seeing in the pictures here with the arms that go up. But I'd never noticed this before, but these saguaros in May on the tips of the arms were just covered with flowers that were getting ready to bloom. Just tons and tons and tons of them. And I thought, that's really weird, that in this horrible drought, that they've got more blossoms than I'd ever seen that I could remember in my life on these cacti. And so I took some pictures of it, and at the time I was looking at them, I didn't notice this incredible thing. But it was kind of it was a revelation to me, because this cactus, these saguaro cacti, could predict the future. And that's what I want to tell you about. So how does a cactus... Well, I was telling somebody about all the blossoms that I saw in these cacti, and I can't remember who it was that told me this, but they said, there's a theory that goes like this, that when a saguaro puts out all kinds of large, huge, inordinate amount of blossoms like that, it's a sign of something getting ready to happen. I said, a sign of what? And they said, it's a sign that there's going to be a lot of rain coming. And so I just kind of thought about that. I thought, that's really interesting. I wonder if a cactus can predict the future. And then I looked up on, I remember it was KGUN TV, and the meteorologist for KGUN TV was saying, in advance of the summer, when the monsoons usually come, or hopefully they come, he said, well, this year is just, last year we had almost no rain, but this year we're going to have just average. And I thought, I wonder how much he knows, because that cactus seems to know what's coming. You see, that's the amazing thing about the ways of God. He drops hints all the time to us. He knows the future. He knows what's going to happen in the future, and he knows how it's going to happen. But he tells us these signs to watch for. Well, you know what? Sure enough, as June came in, the monsoon started a little bit early this year. In June, July, and August, they just had incredible downpours all across southern Arizona, almost record. I think it was like the third biggest monsoon season they've ever had in recorded state history. And I just laughed, and I thought, that is amazing. That cactus was smarter than a meteorologist. That cactus knew what was coming. That cactus was sending out signs of hope. And it made me realize that, right now in this world, things are happening that were predicted prophetically over 2,000 years ago. And some of them look frightening. But you see, to the child of God, it's different than that, because Jesus, in the Matthew chapter 24 and in Luke chapter 21, he tells about all these signs that are going to be happening. And he said, but when you see these things happen, now remember about that cactus, when you see these things happen, it means the time is drawing near. So lift up your eyes and rejoice, because the time of redemption is drawing near. See, God's going to fix this whole thing. But there's a lot of walking through some incredible stuff that would be scary to all of us unless we knew who was in charge. Like my pastor said yesterday, God's in charge of who's in charge. And he's using it all for his glory and to bring it in. So it reminds me of this. Now, Jesus said, when you see these things come to pass, lift up your heads, look up, because your redemption is getting close. It's getting close. And we're seeing things, signs in this earth that I've never seen before, that nobody's ever heard of before, that a spirit of fear could come over in the entire world in a week's time, and cause the whole world to be shut down. And I'm just saying that what we've seen through this COVID thing is a dress rehearsal. It's a dress rehearsal for evil, and it's a dress rehearsal for those who know the Lord. Because he's saying your time is coming, it's getting ready. And so just like the signs of that saguaro cactus, it put out blossoms. You see what I mean? It put out blossoms like good things are coming. It's going to be a storm. It's going to be a rain. It's going to be a deluge. There's going to be flooding and stuff like that. But I'm telling you so that you'll get ready. I'm telling you so that it won't take you off guard and you won't be surprised when all of this happens. And to turn around and see what's happening. Because we're children of light. We're not children of darkness. We know what's coming. And we know what some of the signs are. And I'm telling you, folks, God is dropping big hints to us right now. Get ready. I want to tell, my pastor friends that are out there, you guys, get your folks ready. I want to talk to my worship leader friends out there. Get your folks ready. Get them ready to worship God when they're persecuted, because our redemption is drawing near, and we're gonna see a mightier outpouring than we've ever seen in our lives. God's getting ready to do an outpouring. So anyway, I hope this blesses you. A great lesson to learn from the cactus. The good times are coming. Our redemption's coming. It's time to pray. It's time to get focused. It's time to stop messing around. So I love you guys. Please leave a comment. Any thoughts that you may have on this, I'm eager to hear them. Love you guys. Pray for us.